I've been trying to prepare myself to tell this story for a good 3 weeks now, but I've realized this is not the kind of story where you can just ease into. Disclaimer, if you're under the age of 18, I don't condone that you watch the rest of this video because it is quite detailed and graphic. If you're above the age of 18, well, same rules apply. Alright. Fuck it, let's go. What's going on, y'all? It's me, your boy Wellington Boyce, and if you don't know who I am, well, I'm some light-skinned nigga that makes videos from time to time and takes long hiatus from making YouTube videos. I know it's been a minute, and I know I said in my last video that I was going to be posting, or try to post weekly. Well, but with this video, I am here to do a story time. I've never done a story time before on YouTube, so I guess you can say I'm popping my YouTube cherry with this story time. Which is probably not the best phrase to use when telling this story. And y'all will see why. By the way, check out this t-shirt. I bought this t-shirt in high school, and I still fit it at age 24. It says Rage All Night. It kind of fits with this story because it takes place during my high school years. So this story takes place my senior year in high school. So 17-year-old me, senior year, don't care about anything or anyone, just trying to live up life and party and all that stuff and hook up with girls. I know that's a little hard for some of y'all to believe, but yes, your boy at 17 was a complete boy. So it's the ending of my senior year. My friends and I would always want to hang out and party all the time on the weekends because it was our senior year and we were just trying to live up the last couple days of high school. So one of my homeboys from my class normally had his house vacant on the weekends, and I'm not exactly too sure why it was always so vacant, but we would definitely utilize the vacancy of that house. We would try and throw ragers at his house all the f***ing time. So this one specific night there was nothing going on, so a couple of my boys and I, we were just like, hey, let's hit up so-and-so so we can go to his house and maybe invite some people over. So we go to so-and-so's house. I'm not gonna say any names because this is all confidential and I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. We set up a beer pong table, fill up the cups, and we have a couple of our 18s of non-alcoholic beverages such as Sprite and Coca-Cola that we were drinking on violently. So it's about 6 to 8 of us, and I mean, dude, complete sausage fest. Chill Friday night, cracking a cold one with the boys. We're playing beer pong, the drinks start progressing, the non-alcoholic beverages, that is, until eventually 2 girls that we went to school with showed up, and they lived a couple houses down from my homeboy's place. So they came in to say, yo, what's poppin', niggas? Just to clarify, they didn't actually say niggas because they were 2 white girls, and that's just completely not okay. And then one of the girls leave and one of them stays behind because she ended up hanging out with us and partaking in drinking activities. Partaking in the drinking of non-alcoholic beverages. Just to clarify. So she wanted to hang out a little bit longer than her friend. So we're still hanging out, playing beer pong and all that stuff, having a great time. I was kind of flirting with the girl that stayed behind because she was in my study hall and I kind of flirt with her in study hall. And so I kind of saw this as like an opportunity just to like flirt with her outside of school. I didn't think anything would come out of it, so it was kind of just like on some normal shit. But then she was like, so I need somebody who's gonna take me home. I just live a couple houses down and I don't want to walk in the dark by myself. So do you like mind walking me back? So being the gentleman that I was raised to be, I was like, I mean, yeah, sure, totes. I can do that. Yeah, let me walk you back. And I definitely didn't want this girl to just walk home alone in the dark because it's 12 a.m. at night. So I'm walking this girl back to her house and we finally get to her house. And so we walk up to like the gate of the house and she goes, I think my parents turned the alarm on because they like to turn it on right before they go to bed. I don't know if I can get into my house. So you mean to tell me we walked down here for you to be locked out of your house? Okay, so we're kind of just sitting there having a conversation because she can't get inside of her house. And so we just start talking about school or whatever, I don't know. And then kind of out of nowhere from point A of conversation to point B, we're holding each other. And I'm kind of like holding her on the waist and she's telling me how fat her ass is. Y'all, I went to a Catholic private school, so there wasn't that many girls. So we did focus on who had like the greatest asses on campus. So she's telling me how great her ass is. Me being the real nigga that I am, I was like, okay, bet. Let me test that out right quick. And I grabbed some cheeks. With consent, of course. I wasn't just like doing some out-of-pocket ass grabbing. Like she pretty much said, hey, yeah, grab this ass. So I grab her ass, whatever, and I'm holding on to it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. It's got a nice circumference, it's nice and rotund and plump. Just the way I like it. I'm doing my thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden she kind of goes, hey, let's go back to your friend's house. You told me to walk you home, and we couldn't get inside your house, sat out here for 10 minutes, just for you to tell me, let's go back to where we were. Okay. So we end up going back to my homeboy's house. The dude who lived there, he was kind of confused. He's just like, where'd y'all go? And I was like, well, she couldn't get in our house, so she's kind of just gonna crash here, I guess. So everything's still going on. People still like playing beer pong or whatever. But her and I end up going into my homeboy's dad's bedroom. So we closed the door and we just started making out. And at this time, I lost my virginity about like 2 months ago. So I was in the mindset of trying to slang. So anyways, we're making out, we're on the bed, I'm taking her clothes off. Then she stops me and she goes, wait, I gotta go to the bathroom, I have to pee. And I was like, okay, cool. So in the scenario of me sitting in bed, I already was told that this girl gave some pretty great fellatio. So while she's in the bathroom, I'm just sitting there trying to mentally prepare myself because I'm about to get some pretty dope knowledge, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I know, that one just came off the top of the head. It astounds me that I'm considered an adult. She finally comes out of the bathroom. We get back to hooking up, whatever. So I decide to start slipping my hands down to that dirty south, if you know what I'm saying, where Lil Jon and the East Side Boys be staying. So I go down, I'm in her, this might be the most awkward situation to like hand gesture of, so I slip my hands down in her pants. So I'm doing a little jazz hands with her downstairs and all that. At one point she gets on top. Mind you, I'm still wearing my pants. And that day I was wearing my school uniform pants. So you remember when I said I went to a private school? We had uniforms. And on this specific night, I was wearing my school uniform pants because they were khakis and they kind of just went with everything. And this girl gets on top of me while I'm doing, honestly, fingering needs a more proper like scientific name because finger blasting is just so aggressive. So I'm doing my thing, whatever. She's on top of me, straddling me. I still have my pants on and everything. They never came off until she decided to fillet me. She put her mouth on my Johnson. Also, the room is completely pitch black. I'm not seeing what's going on, except I know what's going on. So we finished and everything's said and done. And at this point she's like, oh hey, like I think I'm gonna go home and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, bet. We should do this more often because this was dope. So my friend whose house we were staying at ended up driving her back home because she had to figure out how to get back inside her house. 5 minutes have passed. I put on my pants, I put on my shirt just to like make myself look more presentable and all that stuff. So I walk out of the bedroom and one of my homeboys is sitting on the couch. And he goes, we heard everything that went down, bro. These walls are super thick. So I'm just kind of like sitting there just like, all right, whatever. Like, my bad. I couldn't help it. One of my homeboys goes, bro, what's on your pants? And so he says that. I look down. There's red marks all over my school uniform pants. Like, deep red. And I'm sitting there so confused. I'm like, yo, what the f happened? Like, did a pen explode in my pocket or something? Me being as naive as I am at 17, and as I'm looking down, I look at my hands, and there's blood under my fingernails. As I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why there's blood all over me, I get a text from the girl, and she says,
hey, I finally made it home safely back in my house. The alarm wasn't on, actually. But, I actually think you cut me.
As I look at this text, I'm like, my nails aren't that long to cut the inside of a vagina. And vaginas are pretty sturdy. I was super confused, but you know what? Naive 17-year-old Welly was like, yeah, I probably did. So I'm sitting here in my pants with my fingernails covered in blood. And mind you, I was wearing a white t-shirt as well as like my school pants and stuff. Not this white t-shirt, because that'd be really, actually. And now that I think about it, I might have been wearing this t-shirt. I'm just thrown off, kind of whatever. It's like, whatever, I got my nut tonight. It was a cool night. Yeah, I made a girl's vagina bleed because my finger blasting game is on point. 2 years later, one of my homeboys that still was in contact with this girl at the time, and this girl came up in conversation, and that he also hooked up with her as well. And he also tells me that she eventually told him that she was on her period that specific night, but didn't want to tell me that she was. Now let's backtrack. She went to the bathroom to go pee before things got hot and heavy. And that's it. That should have been the red flag. God, red flag. I'm using the worst phrases to describe this situation. So she was on her period that night. So I had period blood all over my pants, under my fingernails. And this girl just didn't want to tell me and just let me go ham. So the moral of this story, there is no moral of this story because I definitely have more stories that involve girls on their periods because I just didn't learn the first time. Yeah, that's the end of this story. I tried not to get too graphic with it. If I did, I apologize. If you would like to hear more stories, leave a comment below saying we want more period stories. But nah, just leave a comment below asking for a part 2 and I will make another story if y'all enjoyed this one. And I'll tell my other adventures with hooking up with girls that were on the rag. Is that okay to say on the rag? Whatever. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Yes, I'm doing the typical YouTuber stuff because I'm trying to be a YouTuber. Be sure to turn on my notifications so that when I actually do post a video, y'all be alerted when I post. Again, this is Wellington Boyce signing off. Sadly, this is not the worst one. Is it the worst one? Maybe. I don't remember. Anyways, I'll see y'all later.